What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Nichols. I'm a singer-songwriter here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm gonna write a song. It's like 1:30 in the morning on a Friday morning, and I figured I'd just bring you guys along with me for the ride. So let's see what we can come up with, and we'll go from there. So I've been in a Randy Newman kind of vibe recently, and sorry, checking to see if my roommate was awake. But I love the way that Randy Newman tells great stories and all the jazz chords that he puts together, like that little. I'm not good at music theory, but I think that's like a flat six maybe that I just did that into the six. So I've been loving that, and I also just love coming down to a nice two major. I'm in the key of C right now, so it's a D major. But he's also just got these simple lyrics that are beautifully said and not overthought. And so I would love to come up with something that is beautifully said and not overthought, with maybe a flat six and a major two in the mix up. So. I didn't know. Da, 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 Am I impressive? No, I'm not. But it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm just goofing off. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Right there, nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else. Nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else. So that's the minor two in that case. There's nobody else for me. So, let me bring that back over here. So, something I love to do is, if I come over here into Logic, then, oh, well, it's not letting me pull up Logic. 1 second. Let me figure out why it's not letting me do this. Perhaps I have to do this number. There we go. There's Logic. So I like coming over here into the notes section. And, sorry, a cord fell. I thought it was my camera cord for a second. But I like coming over here in the notes section. And I had this idea with syllables that fit that little tagline that sounded I think I said, what is, but there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. There's just nobody else for me. So that's one thing I love about Randy Newman. And Bruno Major and people, sorry, let me bring this back over here. People that are doing this whole jazz, like modern jazz thing, they, again, it's just the simplicity of the lyrics of there's nobody else, no, there's nobody else, there's just nobody else for me. I've tried making it a rule not to use the word just so much in my songs because I tend to overuse it because I say the word just a lot. It's just this, or it's just like whatever it is. And I'm okay with it in this context. And so now we have to figure out, how do we tell that story? If the whole chorus leads up to this beautiful imagery of whoever this is that the song's about, everything that we've gone through up until this point in life, it's almost like a Solomon, a proverbial conversation of, or not proverbial, Ecclesiastes conversation of, I've seen it all, I've done it all, and there's nobody else for me. And so now the challenge is to paint that picture. And so the melody that I loved was, or not, I mean, it's just the one I'm playing with right now. But I tend to trust my instincts on melodies for the first go around. I usually just stick with the melodies I sing when I'm writing by myself. So I did. Something like that. It also sounds a little bit like the what's the you are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? Can't you see? Yeah, everything I hope for. Oh, you're everything I need. So he does that too. I'm gonna fix this mic real quick. And that's okay. That I think it's Joe Crocker that sang that. It's okay that that's a popular thing to do in this realm of music. And so don't want to get too in my head about it, but maybe change that melody slightly. Maybe add a little bit more like soul to it. Falsetto is always a good go-to to adapt a melody. But there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. There's just nobody else for me. So now we paint the picture of the chorus. I've seen it all. I could, I almost want to do this, like I could do XYZ, but there's nobody else. Yeah, that's the direction we go. I could imagine one further the world into something I I could maybe it's like I couldn't I couldn't come up with it in my wildest dreams. 'Cause there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. There's just nobody else for me. I I couldn't I couldn't oh um, I couldn't paint a friend wildest dream. Oh, there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. There's just nobody else for me. Yeah, so it's a lot of just repeating melodies back and forth to myself, and then knowing where we're landing. So we're coming at it with, let me bring this over. So we're, oh, so all for all my um for all um see, now my brain's thinking like because I'm a songwriter and I'm an artist, I always just assume that I have thought provoking words, eloquent words. And so now it's kind of shifting into for all of the eloquent words I could say. Hmm. This is this is the important part because I wanted to stay simple, but I also don't want to just cop out and do a cliche idea with the simplicity. From the summer that day. I'm also gonna try and not make awkward eye contact with the camera because I can just stare off into the abyss while I'm thinking through these lyrics. So, all of the best things that let's try. All of the has to give. See, I'm wondering now. For all the best things this life has to give, wouldn't mean much of anything. Oh, when there's nobody else. Best. All the best of this life. Sorry. All the best that this life has to give. So what I'm thinking, the way that this would flow is, all the best that this life has to give wouldn't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else for me. So now, it could be a really sad song. Won't mean much. All right, let me tell you what I'm thinking. So, all this right here, everything that we've said so far, all the best that this life has to give, wouldn't mean much of anything. So I'm going to change this past or this tense to present, or won't mean. So it's still future tense. But the idea is, if I'm talking to the person that I love and telling them, for instance, if they pass away before I do, then all of the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else for me. Yeah, let's try that and just see what we're working with here. So it'd be all the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else for me. Yeah, so that makes it dark. Kind of lovey-dovey dark. Lovey-dovey dark. Could be a great K-pop group. All the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else for me. So then we just make the verses about. Yeah, so this is where I will go, and so this is the chorus. Let's separate that. So now I want to map out a verses idea. Verse 1 will be about, let's just say, verse 1 will have to do with, nobody else. So I know that verse 3 down here somewhere will be dealing with death. I almost this. I also love hymns. So like HYMNS, hymns. And what I'm thinking is if this just becomes the chorus, just becomes the tag of every verse, almost like they would do in an old hymn, hymn. Yep, that's how you say it. So if verse 3 has to do with death, verse 2 is the hypothetical of, hey, if you ever left, if you ever went away. So verse 2 is, not 2L, 2. If you ever left. So then verse 1, you got to start the whole story off with, all the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. Just nobody else for me. So here, I'm thinking maybe we do it's the beginning of a love story, maybe. So a more focused point of view would be if you didn't notice me. Right? Because, every great love story, if the person who shot their shot didn't get noticed by the askee of the proposal or whatever it is, the date that leads to the great love story, then all the best this life has to give won't mean much of anything. It's just that hopeless concept of if it's not you, there's nobody else. So now let's come up with our verse construct melody-wise. Yeah. Excuse me, if we're starting on for the chorus, we want to start maybe on the 1 for the verses. So we're coming out of the nobody else for me. Maybe we can start on the 6. All the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. 1 and 2. Yeah, I think maybe we change on those tags. The chorus tag, we can change wouldn't and won't back and forth. Just whichever one feels better for the specific verse. But I kind of like the da 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 da. I pass and I'm all the by the sun. Oh. this life has to give wouldn't mean much of anything if there's nobody else. Yeah, right aside the mountain. Cool. So now let's come back into Logic, and we got the verse melodies. Maybe we set the scene with a visual that we can get a picture of in our head. So, summer blooms. Summer blooms. I don't even know if I think things bloom in the summer. Maybe they're just late bloomers. Summer blooms. We're picking summer blooms. Summer blooms. Summer blooms are falling. Maybe. Autumn leaves. Autumn leaves. Autumn leaves were falling. And picking blooms. Picking pins. Picking pins. Picking. This is a little bit older, but climbing trees in summer. Climbing trees in summer. Maybe not. Dancing summer. Dancing in the summer. Danced with me that summer. Danced with me in summer. Yeah, maybe that's the move. Is dance with me in summer. Dance with me in summer. Spend our nights under the moon. Just kind of a lullaby almost. It's very simple, very to the point. Dance with me in summer. Spend our nights under the moon. So let me just come back here, and we're doing. And that is called getting off key, because I don't have perfect pitch. So I just start climbing keys as I stay away from the piano too long. Dance with me in summer. Spend our nights under the moon. just trying to figure out a clean way to transition into that chorus now. So, dance with me in summer, spend our nights under the moon. Love is new. Doing things that only love is. Maybe it's too cliche, but we're just gonna roll with it because it's 2:00 in the morning now. So spend our nights, or dance with me in summer, spend our nights under the moon, doing things that lovers only do. I mean that in the least sexual way possible. Just to clarify, I'm thinking summer love. So, yep, keeping it G-rated here, PG at the most. Doing things that lovers only do. Oh, the lovers only do. So, because I want to convey that cleaner and not sexually, maybe there's a better way to say that. Doing things that lovers often do. Yeah, because we don't want to seclude it to only lovers can do these things. Yeah, because we want it to be innocent, because that's beautiful. Doing things that lovers often do. Midnight. No. Still past midnight. Nah, that's too cliche. So now I still want to figure out how to transition into the chorus a little better. Dance with me in summer. Spend our nights. I look so funny doing this. I look like I'm Stevie Wonder, like, sorry. Dance with me in summer. Spend our nights under the moon. We were doing things that lovers often do. Held my hand so softly. But all the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything if there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. There's just nobody else for me. So now I don't think that the chorus can stay the same every time. I think it needs to change. Held my hand. Dance with me in summer, spend our nights under the moon, doing things that lovers often do. Held my hand so gently. Held my hand so gently. Oh, we later this one. Held my hand so gently. And that's all I had to do. I held my hand so gently. For shame. Held my hand so gently. Let me just show you. This is what my face looks like. I'm trying to think of lyrics at 2:00 in the morning. I literally just doing this number right here. Well, yeah, that right there. I don't know if you were able to see that or not, but this is what I was doing. Uh, Regardless. Hold my hand so gently. Dance with me in summer. Spend our nights under the moon, doing things that lovers often do. Held my hand so gently. And as the sun. Held my hand so gently. Held my hand so gently. Gently. Held my hand so gently. Held my hand so gently. Held my hand so gently. The sun for two gently. Held my hand so gently. Different tune, a different tune. Held my hand so gently. Held my hand so gently. To the tune. So this is where we're going to pull up Rhyme Zone, because Rhyme Zone is a songwriter's best friend. Rhyme Zone, and we're trying to rhyme with do. I like new, the K-N-E-W. I think new is the word, maybe. Held my hand so gently. So gently. Held my hand so gently. Maybe. Held my hand so gently. Let's just see what we got so far. So, dance with me in summer. Spend our nights under the moon, doing things that lovers often do. Have my hands so gently, and if only. That's the reality song right now. Good morning. Good morning. I actually fell asleep and decided to take a breather in between. 3 a.m. was a little bit too late into the night for me to continue on. So, I came back to what we had written last night, and I think just being away from it for a couple hours makes it easier to come up with newer ideas. So, what we had was dance with me in summer, spend our nights under the moon, doing things that lovers often do. Held my hand so gently, oh, so. Held my hand so gently. You stayed with me through and through. So I think that is the next line. Held my hand so gently, you stayed with me through and through. If we hadn't, if we learned, I know I'd be lost here without you. Yeah, I think I like that. So you stay with me through and through. Don't know where I'd be without you. So, don't know where I'd be without. Don't know where I'd be without you. I like that. And then what was our chorus? All the best that this life has to give won't mean much of it, wouldn't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else for me. Yeah, so let's just see how that feels all together. Dance with me in summer, spend our nights under the moon, doing things that lovers often do. Sorry about that. Held my hand so gently, you stay with me through and through. Don't know where I'd be without you. 'Cause all the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything. I just felt that segue still weird, the transition. Don't know where I'd be without you. Without you. Oh, maybe it's just a chord thing, so don't know where I'd be without you. Then resolving back to that one. Then a step up into the all of the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything when there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else for me. I'm happy with that. I think that transition will probably feel better in production. So now we can look at verse 2, keeping the same structure as verse 1, which is the and I want to establish that they've been together for a little bit at the time of this writing, and so figuring out a way to say that. There's also the option of using season again, since we did Danced With Me in Summer. The winter. Curled up in the winter with a just thinking like a British countryside. Curled up in the winter with a curled up in the winter with a coffee or a tea. With coffee. This is taking a Bruno Major idea, but taking this idea of curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee. I'll have coffee. I'll have coffee. I'll take. You take tea. That's like. I'll have coffee. You have tea. You take tea. I'll have coffee. You take tea. Cut up in the winter. I'll have coffee. You take tea. I'll have coffee. You'll take tea. Doesn't matter what. Doing things that lovers often do is the kind of phrasing that we're trying to match up with as far as syllable count goes. Curled up in the winter. There we go again. Curled up in the winter. I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Oh, tea. To me. So maybe the idea here is curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Still love having So I say I'll have coffee, you'll take tea, and I'll still have you lying next to me. Yeah, I mean, a little cliche at this point, but it's also kind of sweet. So then we've got to match the second half of this verse. Hold my hand so gently, kiss my cheek. I kind of like the idea of matching that same sentiment, but doing it with different phrasing. So if it was instead of held my hand so gently, you kiss my lips, kiss my cheek so gently. Yeah, let's just see what this feels like. Curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. I'll still have you lying next to me. You kiss my cheek so gently. I'd be any fool. You kiss my cheek so gently. And I'm thinking, it don't take too much to see. I'd be lost. Yeah, I'd be lost without you. So the first time we said, uh, don't know where I'd be without you. Kind of idea up here. Don't take too much to see. Lost. So now it's kind of answering that question of don't know where I'd be without you. Well, it didn't take too much to see. I'd be. Don't know where I'd be without you. It's 8 syllables, right? So, as I was saying, curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. I don't like the line that we have on that third line of, but I'll still have you, and I'll still have you. I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Next to me, line next to me is where I want to end for sure. I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Come up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. I'm just gonna say, life doesn't get life doesn't get better than you next to me. I'm going to phrase that weird, but it'll be a little bit less monotonous. Curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Life doesn't get much better than you next to me. Yeah, get much better. No. Life doesn't get any better than you next to me. Any better because we say much in the chorus. You kiss my cheek so gently, it don't take too much to see. I'd be lost. I'd be lost. Curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Life doesn't get any better than you next to me. Oh, you kiss my cheek so gently, and it don't take much to see. And it don't take much to see. It don't take much. I'd be lost. I'd be lost forever. So remember, this idea is if you ever left, I'd be lost if you decide. I'd be lost if you decide you want to leave. I'd be lost should you decide you want to leave. Yeah, so let's see what this sounds like. Curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Life doesn't get any better than you next to me. You kiss my cheek so gently, it don't take much to see. I'd be lost should you decide you wanna leave. And all of the best that this life has to give won't need much of anything when there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else for me. So real quick, we got verse 1 and verse 2 done. That chorus is a little bit of a transition in my brain, so I'm going to figure that out. But dance with me in summer, spend our nights under the moon, doing things that lovers often do. Held my hand so gently, you stay with me through and through. Don't know where I'd be without you. 'Cause all of the best that this life has to give won't need much of anything when there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else for me. Verse 2. Curled up in the winter, I'll have coffee, you take tea. Life doesn't get any better than you next to me. You kiss my cheek so gently, it don't take much to see. I'd be lost should you decide you ever wanna leave. Oh, and all of the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything. No, when there's nobody else. Oh, there's nobody else. No, there's nobody else for me. Great. So we got 2 verses down. Let's go to verse number 3, shall we? So for verse 3, we're looking back at the theme of death and the final departure of this person who we've written this song about. And yeah, let's see. When it's time, dance with me in summer. So now I'm looking at this. Looking at, let me show you. So on the verse 1 and verse 2, we've got the dance with me in summer, and we've got the curled up in the winter. And I'm wondering, winter feels more like a season of things dying than anything. So I'm wondering if that isn't the first line of curled up in the winter. And then verse 2, it could be something like in the autumn. Laid with me in autumn. I'll have coffee. You'll take tea. In autumn. In autumn. Maybe cool air. I'm trying to think. Okay. Days at home in autumn. Yeah, let's just do that for now. Days at home. Or days. More. Mornings. Mornings spent in autumn. No. Trying to think here. I know we're going back to verse 2, but that's because we want verse 3 to be cohesive. We said before, curl up in the winter, so morning. Waking up in autumn. I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. That's fine for me right now. The verse 3, curled up in the winter. Let me bring that back over here. So we've said, waking up in autumn, I'll have coffee, you'll take tea. Curled up in the winter. Yeah. Curled up in the winter. Curled up in the winter. And the wind. Curled up in the winter. Curled up in the winter. Curled up in the winter. Waiting. Maybe it's we're curled up in the winter, just kind of waiting for the spring. Curled up in the winter, waiting for the spring. Night, the air seems to get colder as we dream. Air colder. It always gets colder while we sleep. If one day, so what I'm thinking is, if one day, curled up in the winter, waiting for the spring, and the air always gets colder while we sleep. If one day the sunrise doesn't, if one day the sunrise doesn't wake you, finds me, doesn't find you. If one day the sunrise doesn't find you, find you, doesn't wake you from your dreams. If one day the sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams, I'll be left alone. Sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams. I'll be there. Then I'll be left with only. Maybe this. Maybe because I'm in a rush now and I have to travel in about 30 minutes. That could have something to do with it, or this could also just be what it is. But we'll see. Curled up in the winter, waiting for the spring. The air always gets colder while we sleep. If one day the sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams, I'll be left with only memories. Or maybe, instead of I'll be left with only memories, maybe it's, dreams. I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm trying to think. Curled up in the winter, waiting for the spring. The air always gets colder while we sleep. If one day the sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams, but leaves my one day the sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams, but leaves me, believes, but if one day the sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams, almost a continuation of that phrase, and then going into that last hook, then all the best this life has to give. If one day the sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams, and you decide to go where I can't be. That's it. Okay, so. Curled up in the winter, waiting for the spring. And the air always gets colder while we sleep. If one day the sunrise doesn't wake you from your dreams, and you decide to go where I can't be, all of the best that this life has to give won't mean much of anything. There's just nobody else. No, there's nobody else. There's nobody else for me. I think we have a song, ladies and gentlemen.